Awesome. We're looking good. I just want to check Facebook.
Okay.
All set. Perfect. Okay. Excellent.
Great.
All right, we will go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for being here with us today for our Westy Live. I'm Jamie Chavez, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and every Wednesday we bring to you a live broadcast featuring one of our newest chamber members to give them a chance to talk to you about their business and what they're doing in the community. So if you're new to the broadcast, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. I'll encourage you to like our Facebook page if you're on Facebook, and then you will receive notifications for when we go live in the future. If you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe, and all of our videos from when we very first started doing this are on YouTube. You can check any of those out or just catch up the past few weeks. Whatever you've got time for, they're all on YouTube. We also offer broadcasts on Mondays that are dedicated to city updates from folks like our mayor, city council, mayor pro tem, and other city officials. So I encourage you to tune in for those as well. That's kind of your backstage pass to what's going on down at City Hall. And then one Friday a month, we reserve for county updates from both Jefferson and Adams County. So hope that we will see you there for those. As you watch the broadcast this morning, we encourage you to engage with us. Feel free to drop any questions, any comments, or just say hello, and we'll get to those during the interview. And now a warm welcome to Shar, who is the owner of Plato's Closet here in Westminster, and Samantha, who is the store manager. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you, Jamie. We're really excited to be part of the chamber. We're excited to do this little powwow with you this morning.
Yeah, it's super fun. Thanks for being on. We will have a good conversation. Good morning, Dave. Thanks for joining us. So usually what I'll do is just let you all kick it off by telling us, just tell us your story. How did you end up with Plato's Closet, and what makes it different from a typical clothing store?
Sure. And I'll start by saying I've looked at some of your other Facebook Live videos, and this is not going to be your typical environment. So you're going to have to bear with us because we're sitting inside Plato's Closet Westminster right now, and we're very much open. So there may be some like distractions here and there, and we'll do a little walk around in the store. We're sitting in front of our Free People section, everyone's favorite brand. But yeah, my name is Shar. I've had the store just over 4 years. We are part of a franchise brand called Winmark. So there are several Plato's locations. Of course, this is our favorite. So I bought an existing store just over 4 years ago and have just gradually transformed it, renovated, brought in amazing people like Sam. We have a
What drew you to Plato's to begin with?
You know, it's interesting. So my background is in corporate marketing. I worked in brand management, launching fragrance and cosmetics brands in New York City and in Toronto. And later in my career, I ended up helping my husband with his business, which was a biodiesel business based out of New York City. And that's what really got me into kind of this whole idea of recycling and kind of non-polluting businesses. And so when it came time for us, when we moved to Colorado not too long ago, and I wanted to start a business of my own, I was very focused on finding something that I could get up for in the morning and really feel like I was making a difference, and that I wasn't adding more crap, excuse my French, to the world, but that I was doing something to make it a little bit better. And yeah, I came across this amazing brand, Plato's Closet, which, you know, is very well known, especially with teens and 20-somethings, because that's who we mainly cater to. And I just thought it was a really, really interesting opportunity. Being part of a franchise, we have the support of the franchise. So we have all the pricing software and kind of the general framework for how we do business. But then I have a lot of autonomy to really run the business as my own. I'm the one who's making or breaking it with the people I hire and the effort and the time that I put into it. So for me, I've always been a resale shopper. When my kids, I have 2 teenage daughters, but ever since they were little, and even for myself, I was always drawn to thrifting and just finding secondhand alternatives, whether they were hand-me-downs or just going and shopping and finding great deals, because I don't know, that was just always my vibe. So it really resonated to me. I learned about Once Upon a Child. We have one not too far away from here, actually, which is the kid version of what we do. And what we focus on here is more teen brand, 20 somethings. What we do in a nutshell is we buy and sell gently used mall brands and styles. If we find that if we buy stuff that caters to your average teenager, mall shopper, teen 20 something, then we also draw in those middle schoolers as well as like people up to my age, which I'm not going to reveal at this moment in time, and even Sam, who's a young mom herself. But what do you think? What do you think we do best at the store?
I think we help the environment. I think we help the earth not be polluted with clothing, which is the number one polluter on earth. And I think we help moms like myself save a bunch of money for their kids when they're growing so fast and their style of clothing is consistently changing. So it's a good way to get rid of your old clothes and come get some new clothes also.
Yeah, I think it's a fun concept because, and now we are appealing a lot more, I think, to parents, especially we just came out of a very busy back to school season. We still feel like we're kind of in it, but we have been trying to speak more directly to parents as well, because at the end of the day, they're generally holding the purse strings. We all have a budget that we have to work within. And I don't think that a lot of moms especially understand that their kids can there's gold in their closet. So yes. Go dig through that, freshly launder and fold it, please, and then bring it into Plato's. And then that gives them that credit to be able to shop around the store for fresh styles. And there's really no need to, I like to think that we can have kids go and kind of window shop at the mall. Sure, get an idea of what's going on this season, but then come to Plato's and actually buy the stuff because we're up to 70% off and you're going to be doing something good. We can all do a small, I like to say we can't necessarily stop fast fashion like as individuals. That's going to be a much larger collective effort just as a society. But we can all take one small step every day. And I just really want to spread that message that I think parents can really benefit from this as well. And find a few things too, because we have like Lululemon and Free People too that appeal to moms as well as teens. So that's kind of what we're all about.
Yeah. I think about that a lot because my kids are young. I have a 5 and a 7-year-old. And so they are not like consumed by fashion yet necessarily. And so all of the clothes that have come through this house have either been gifted to us by someone that used them before, or I'm giving them to somebody else. And I don't know what age that stops, but at some point we quit giving our clothes to our friends. And then what? We donate them, or they probably go into the trash or whatever. And so I'm not really sure what age that happens, but I've just never had to buy clothes for my kids so far.
Yes. I remember that with the early days too, a lot of family hand-me-downs. And then suddenly, all of a sudden you're on your own, and I'm not quite sure why, but you'll see. See. But I thought, should we take a little walk around the store just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like in here? We'll try to go slow because we don't want to make anyone feel nauseous. How about that?
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay. We'll go nice and slow. I might have you hold my phone, Samantha. Okay. So we are huddled in the back right now trying to get good lighting, which is not that easy in a retail store, but we're actually standing in front of our Free People section. This is what we try to do is we find like the most appealing brands and we collect them together. And then we have people who are like, oh my God, you have the most Free People outside of the Free People store. I'm like, that's right. That's exactly what we want to be known for.
What's hot right now? Free People. You mentioned Lululemon. What else?
Lululemon. Yes. The other additions. What would you say?
Oh, White Box, Garage, Skims, Carhartt, Addicted, Abercrombie and Fitch, Hollister.
Got it.
All those. Yeah. All the mall brands. And honestly,
do you have clothing for boys also?
We
We
do.
do.
Our kids section, which
I'll let you guys walk around. Show us what's show us
Yeah.
what's back.
with Plato's is everyone always wonders if you do guys clothes.
We do guys clothes. Well, yes, we do. These are our long sleeves. I'm gonna see. Just am I going too fast, Jamie? I don't want to freak anyone out. Okay, so these are our pants sections. We're in the guys section right now. So actually, this is our trend wall. We set this up for back to school, and you'll also notice all those red sizers means that we have tons of 50% off right now, actually. So, but yeah, all the jeans are neatly organized by size, just like you might find in a regular retailer. One of the things I think that we do really well is make sure that things are really organized by their category, by their size, so that people can, if you're looking for a long sleeve or a jacket or a hoodie, you can just come in here and find your size right away. And we'll have the cutest stuff on the shelves. And Sam is very good at keeping this store nice and filled.
Yes.
We call it stocked, not stuffed. Well, actually, I call it that because I'm a bit of a dork.
I love that because there's nothing worse than going into a store, any store, and everything's just crammed in there. You can't see anything. I just will turn around and walk out.
Yes, I totally agree with you. So we do try to make it as shoppable as we can while still making sure that we have plenty of inventory going out. We have inventory going out all day long. In fact, those are just right here, some of the bins that we pulled from inventory that are going to be hung and put out today. This is a fun new thing we're doing. These little perfume rollers, they're selling like hotcakes. Yeah, we offer, so some of the, we just have a couple of newer things. We do buy used accessories as well. Some people don't realize that. We do buy jewelry. But again, our buyers, they go through training. We call them certified buyers. So they have to go through quite a bit of training to learn how to sort through clothes and establish, what's going to sell in this store, because that's really ultimately what we're here for. So I'm going to show you our buy counter right now. Ladies, are you ready? Yeah. Okay, because we're live. So this is where the magic happens. And we have Shay and we have Dawn, our assistant manager. And Dawn is right now going through somebody's buy, as we call them. So she's basically checking for style first, then condition. And then she is well aware of what our inventory needs are right now. We do buy all categories all year long, but some more than others, depending on what we have a need for in the store. So it's also really important that we communicate with customers why we've taken their items, but also why there are certain items that we are going to pass on. A lot of times that has to do with just general wear and tear. What would you say some of the other reasons are, Sam?
Maybe styles that aren't particularly selling right now, or, because we do clearance a few times a year, we can usually see what's selling, what's not selling. So, and trends change, but usually based off of the last clearance, we can kind of decide what we're going to keep buying in, what we're not going to buy in, just because of how fast fashion's changing.
And as simple as just washing your stuff, right, Dawn? Yes. Just please launder your stuff. It makes a big difference, and just bring it in like a laundry basket, freshly laundered, folded, stick it in a basket, something that's easy for our buyers to sort through. The other thing that we love to say we are a destination for is athletic shoes. So we do these events. We'll do shoe events. We'll do branded events. Our shoes and our designer purses are some of our most popular events. Let's see. Right now we are in our women's denim section.
Lots of jeans.
Oh yeah. And then we're actually having a big fall event on Saturday. So you'll see that some of these like end caps all the way down here, we have caution tape on there just so people can't shop them until we release the items. So that's one of the fun things that we do is we make sure that we collect our customers' favorite brands and drop them all at once, and we call that an event. And at this point, actually, I want to remind you as well, because we're pretty excited about it. Tomorrow is our formal ribbon cutting.
That's right.
Part of the chamber. So we're not new to the neighborhood, but we're new to you. So
Yeah.
we're really looking forward to a great event.
Yeah.
And it starts at 5 tomorrow. I think you guys are coming a little bit before. We have a really good list of RSVPs, and we decided to turn it into kind of a crazy, have we lost our minds, 40% off event. So anybody, do you want to explain?
Yeah. So we will close from 4:30 till 5 so that we can get everything prepared. We ask that people are in line by 5 o'clock, preferably before 5 o'clock. Anybody who's in line will get a stamp on their hand. We'll let you guys in, and then you can shop 40% off of everything in the store.
That's awesome. Well, we're super excited about that ribbon cutting. I'm excited to go in there. I'm going to bring my girls with me. They're a little young, I think, but they'll still enjoy coming in and seeing what you have to offer.
Yeah. Well, we have all sizes. So we even have double XS. So
Oh, there we go.
Up to the larger sizes. So I'm sure they would find something cute in here anyway.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, we're hoping for a great turnout. We actually have invited a couple of our local restaurant partners as well. So we have Buffalo Wild Wings coming. They're handing out free, I think they're handing out free wings, definitely free food samples. And then Colorado Discount Nutrition, that's in the same mall as us. They are going to be bringing, they tell me, energy drinks. I don't know if they'll be doing some smoothie samples, that kind of stuff. And then there is a company right next door to us called Cake Crafts, and they're actually baking cupcakes for us, I think.
Very cool.
So I've asked them to set up by 4, so that way hopefully we'll have people in line and they won't be hungry and thirsty, and they'll have something to look forward to.
Awesome.
One other section I thought we could show, Sam, is well, this is our huge athletic section. I feel like we're definitely a destination for athletic or active wear, as some people call it.
Yeah.
And this back here is Sam's dreamy Lululemon Aloe Viore Gymshark section. So this is where all of our premium athletic goes. So if you're looking for Lululemon leggings that are not going to cost $105, they're going to cost you $35 because you're getting them here. I think that's a pretty smart way to shop.
Absolutely.
We get stuff that's like barely used.
I just got brand new tags, a whole pile of it yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
People like run out of their return window or can't be bothered, and it makes its way into their buys. So I'm going to go and maybe sit down. Do you want to help Dawn with buys? Yes. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Samantha. Okay, I'm going to slowly walk over here. Oh, we also buy designer purses like Michael Kors, Kate Spade, and Coach. And we do a huge event. We're doing one at the end of September. We post all of our events on our Instagram and Facebook, and we do TikTok as well. This is our regular purse section, if you can see. Regular just being, non-giant brands.
Sure.
But yeah. So I will walk slowly.
Yeah. Well, it looks great in there. It looks like you guys color coordinate quite a bit, so that's helpful.
Yes. Thanks for noticing. The rainbow color is really, really important because it's not just about sizing. I really want, when people come in here, I want them to kind of take a deep breath and go, okay, I'm going to be here for a while. This is going to be really fun, because I feel like when people think about thrifting, they often think about kind of bin diving, and it's really, it can be not for everyone. So this is more like curated thrifting, I would say. It's like more high level thrifting because we do all the work by really picking the brands and the styles that we think are going to be appealing. And then we merchandise them in a really palatable way. So when you come in, I want you to feel like, okay, this is great. This looks organized. I can relax and have a great shopping experience rather than like the overwhelm that I think can happen when you're, doing like regular thrifting.
Yeah.
So you get to say you're thrifting, but we're actually doing it for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, even in a store that isn't a thrift store or a resale store or anything like that, you can get that kind of overwhelming feeling that there's just no organization, nowhere to start. So
right.
That's super helpful for sure.
Which is fun sometimes, I think. And I think, it really is teens and young people leading the way here in resale. The resale industry is growing like crazy. I think the last stat that I read was that within the next 3 to 4 years is going to reach $65 billion. And that's just the resale apparel industry. So I feel like things are heading in the right direction, but it's still very much something that not everyone is comfortable or has experienced yet. We're not used to digging through our closets and exposing ourselves in that way. I remember the first time I sold, and I tried to involve this in my training for our team. We have to be really sensitive. Like, these are people who bring us their items. They've made these choices for themselves, right? Maybe some of their items are meaningful, or they've worn them to special events, or they were their favorite t-shirt, or whatever it is. So we have to make sure that we're really being mindful and respectful, that people are essentially saying, here you go, this is me, and to have one employee going through their stuff, essentially making judgments about, what's valid for the store. But at the end of the day, we love to give people suggestions as well. If they bring in things that are too formal, or just a little bit more of a mature, like adult style, we'll give them other places to go. So we want to try to find a home for that item, whatever it may be, even if we can't buy it into the store. And we pay cash. So that's another thing that I think people should know about us, is that we pay cash on the spot. So it's not like with traditional consignment where, you're dropping things off and you're not really sure when or if your stuff is going to sell. And then you might get some like check for $7.32 at some point. Here it's just, bring it all in, let us do the sorting. Don't worry about, make sure it's clean, obviously. But let us do the sorting, and then we'll explain to you, like, maybe you need to come back and bring this another season, or we'll give you another suggestion. But you walk away with, or you can use the credit from your shopping. We call it a trade. Right now, actually, we give an extra $5 off a $25 purchase if you make a trade with us, meaning that if you're selling to us and we have an offer for you, and then you want to shop around the store while you wait, you'll do a little bit better. And you don't pay sales tax either when you do it that way.
Yeah. Awesome. That was another question I was going to ask, and I think you probably already answered this, but so you must not accept formal wear, like for prom or homecoming or things like that.
Well, it's interesting that you say prom, because we did just start collaborating with a local organization called Prom Dress Exchange that runs a huge prom dress event that is free or very low cost, with the mission of making sure that all young people have a chance to look their best at prom. So while we don't generally buy in or stock really formal wear for sale, we actually are one of their destinations for drop-off. So we have posters around the store that say, hey, you can donate your prom dress here and we'll get it to the right place. So we try more and more, we're pretty involved in the local community. And one of my goals with joining the chamber was for us to really dig even deeper into the community of Westminster, and feel supported by other small businesses, because again, this is an individually owned business. This is me, like, hello, we're not a big chain. We're here just, doing our best every day to make our customers happy. And we love our local schools, so we've done work with Pomona, we've done work with Stanley Lake, and the teams there have been really amazing. So we're just looking for opportunities to get involved, maybe partnering with other small businesses, just like we invited, the places that I mentioned earlier to our ribbon cutting event tomorrow. There are lots of opportunities, I think, for small businesses to collaborate and kind of do a 1 + 1 = 3, because you want to, we put a fair amount of dollars into this community just through what we do. So on an average year, it's about 100,000 pieces that we're buying into the store, and we're paying out over $400,000 a year into the community, into the hands of the people who live around the store. So we really want to work with other businesses like that who have the freedom and the autonomy to come up with cool promotions and interesting ways that we can collaborate, to grow, the local businesses here.
Yeah, I love that. Collaboration is key, and we'd love to see that happening, especially within the chamber community. What is one trend that you've seen come back that surprises you? Because I love looking at the teens and being like, oh boy, that.
I know. Well, there has been a huge Y2K resurgence in the past year. So you've got all those kind of those styles are coming back that you never thought. I find stuff comes in and out all the time, so we really need to stay on top of what we think is going to happen because we are secondhand. You've got what's going on at the mall now, but then when it gets to us, like, is it still going to be relevant? So there was a small threat of skinny jeans coming back, which didn't come back in a really big way. One thing that has definitely faded from sight for the most part is rips in denim jeans, because that was all the thing, right?
Mhm.
The bigger the rips, the more the better. And that doesn't fly anymore. So, we're constantly paying attention to what's going on at the mall, and even what are, I look at what my own kids are wearing. They're 15 and 18. And then the people I employ at the store who are in high school, they're in college, they know where it's at, and they all have very different styles. I think one of the things that they probably appreciate working here is not just that they have access to clothes and employee discount and all that stuff, but I really want them to be able to express themselves with what they wear. It's not a traditional environment at all. I mean, look at me, I'm in a jean jacket. I did manage to throw on a little makeup for you this morning, Jamie, but but I want them to be able to express themselves and just to support each other in their different styles, which I think is a really fun thing for them. And I want them to have a lot of fun when they're here.
Yeah.
Because this is a harder job than most retail jobs, because we're buying in all of our inventory all day long. That's a whole other aspect to the business that is going on every single day. I mean, that counter gets absolutely filled with boxes and laundry baskets, and it's kind of crazy. So you have to like the fast pace. Today is definitely quiet because the kids are all back at school. And I think also because yesterday we started advertising that we're doing 40% off tomorrow at our ribbon cutting. I'm going to expect it to be a little bit slower the day before. I'm hoping it's the calm before the storm, because we're really looking forward to having lots of people come out and celebrate our ribbon cutting tomorrow.
Yes, we are looking forward to it too. I hope to see you all there. I wanted to say hi to a few people that joined. Denise and Brian Dice, thank you for joining this morning. And then we have Councillor DeMott and Mayor Nancy McNally that joined us. Thank you both for being here. Anything else, Char, that you want to share before we jump off?
Well, I think this is all about, I think sometimes when people think of sustainability, which is such a hot topic, I think many of us can feel overwhelmed by that, in the sense of what can I do, and how am I even going to make a difference? And therefore I can't really do anything, because we sometimes feel small, like we can't make decisions. But I would encourage people to decide with their wallets. You have more control than you think. It doesn't take a lot, because if we do just one small thing, all of us collectively can make a difference. And of course, this is my business. I care about it hugely. Like, this is my baby. I just think that the more people we can encourage to try this out, I think they would be pleasantly surprised. Get your kid to clean out their closet. Go through your own. You probably have Lululemon and stuff that old free people, you haven't even touched. So don't be afraid to make that one little change, because when you look at the whole, sustainability and, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. This is the number 2 polluter, apparel, just because of the amount of waste, the water that it takes, the energy that it takes, the greenhouse gases it produces in the process. There's some really incredible statistics, and about 3 out of 5 garments just end up being incinerated or disposed of in some way. So
That's crazy.
encourage people. I know, I would just encourage people to just take one little step in your own life. It doesn't, and it's a lot of fun. So this shouldn't be like a serious part of your day. But we would love for you to come in and give us a try, and tell your friends, and be at our ribbon cutting.
Yes, absolutely. Again, 5 o'clock tomorrow. What's the address, Shar?
7355 West 88th Avenue. We're in the northwest corner of 88th and Wadsworth, right between Lepeep and Burlington.
Yep,
and I would say, if you want to benefit from our 40% crazy discount in the store that we're offering, you have to be in the line outside before 5 p.m. because we're going to give you a special stamp, and only that stamp is going to give you the crazy discount, the never before seen, never to be seen again discount that we're doing tomorrow, just to celebrate big.
Awesome. Well, this is super exciting. I can't wait to show up early and go in there and check everything out with my kids and welcome you to the chamber. And yeah, I hope that everybody else will join us as well.
Thank you so much for your support. Your team's been amazing. It's been really fun so far to be a part of everything. So awesome. I look forward to lots of great collaboration.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at the ribbon cutting, and everybody have a good rest of your week.